Alright, me again. Yuck. Yeah, had kind of a lousy evening. But anyway, I really don't feel that well, but off to work I go. Ho. Anyway, and hopefully it won't rain on me. But, it's warm, so who cares? So, back on words still. Are just simple definitions, descriptions, being explicit as possible. I guess that's the whole point of my critique of the other participants here on YouTube. Is an unwillingness to just be explicit, use common language, readily definable terminology. And like I said, if you have to use big words, then qualify them with more than one. You use more than one descriptive term, and that way maybe we won't fall into this. Well, I'm assuming we've fallen into something, so I'm going to claim that we have. So anyway, yeah, so maybe I'll just introduce the video. So I'm going to talk more about words, and then I'll do it later, because I'm a little distracted right now. I can't really do words right now. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. Right, so anyway, I'll be back. Well, I was just thinking about words, and I was thinking about God, the big word. And but as a concept, it's so superficially stupid. It was never an answer. It was just an answer for a fool. I mean, a retard could fall for it. It's like somebody asked the question, why are we here? And so they just say, God. Oh, over there, God did it. And that sort of answers the question in the immediate context. You just say, yeah, the Jolly Green Giant did it. But then you have to, if you think a little bit, you understand that, oh, wait a minute, I have to explain where the Jolly Green Giant came from. And so then I got a whole problem, because if I want to say Jolly Green Giant God created Jolly Green Giant, then I have to go figure out how to explain the God for the Jolly Green Giant. It just doesn't work. It's not an answer. You can't answer the question of our existence with this silly answer that somehow there's an underlying intelligence built into it, that somehow there's some mechanism that wishes to be intelligent. Because there isn't. There's mechanisms that wish to be powerful and manipulative. And yes, they can do that through intelligence. But what there are is mechanisms of desire. And if intelligence gets created, because it's a tool for that desire, where's it going to go? I'm arguing that the only place it's going to go is to the realization, when it's truly intelligent, that this whole fucking thing is a big giant failure. There's no way to make anything out of this, because it is made out of need that doesn't need to exist, and that you can never satisfy the need you create completely, so you will always fall short. The zero-sum game is created, and zero-sum game means that no matter how you bend it, no matter how you play it, no one can ever win it. There's always a negative. You can lose less, like Las Vegas or something. I only lost $50. You can lose less, but you can't win. But theoretically, people do win in Las Vegas. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying overall, the net effect is more losers than winners, because the losers pay for all the free drinks and all the pretty lights and all the air conditioning and you know how it works, and all the profits and all the yachts and and of course they pay for the winners. But anyway, and so this is the reality. And so this God stuff is just this spiritual shit, this sacred crap, this symbiosis, like on purpose crap, that doesn't develop out of parasitical relationships, need fulfilling, individual satisfying relationships in the long term. yeah, you can't. There's no God. There's no intelligence in the system. And the minute you say there is, then you're going to have to explain who its parent was. Because to say something as preposterous as intelligence always existed in the universe is the same thing as saying God always existed. And it certainly is more difficult to have an eternal intelligence than it is to have eternal laws of chemistry and physics that through 2 billion years of evolution might create this kind of environment, including myself. Yeah, that's a lot easier to account for than some external, eternal intelligence that does this creation thing. So some people argue this stupid line that I have to keep going over this one too, that somehow we are the universe being intelligent, like like that has something to do to validate the creation. We didn't have intelligence when we were created. Intelligence wasn't part of the design. Intelligence was the product, and it was only a product inadvertently. I mean, I'm talking about reflexive intelligence. That's only an inadvertent add-on. It's a consequence of creating a very sophisticated scheming machine driven by a highly motivated desire mechanism. That's what we are. And the intelligence is, yes, intelligence is a concept. Yes, logic is a concept. Yes, the truth is a reality. Yes, through this modeling tool, we can discover, we can observe, we can recognize and point to and describe the truth. And we can call that wise and intelligent and smart. We use all kinds of words for it. But all that is using a mechanism capable of modeling, of creating mental representations of a contextual reality. And so yeah, the fact that the real world has cause and effect obligates our model to have cause and effect and understand the effects of cause and effect. So anyway, enough of the video for now. Maybe I'll see you later if there's any more possible memory space. A lot of people here today. 6. That's usually, it's a lot for here. But yeah, I like to do some underwater filming, but as you can see, it's pretty horrendous in there. There ain't many fish. I don't know. It's really looking bad. But anyway, maybe we'll try later. See how the day goes. Alright, words. Again, it's all this perception stuff. And what we make up words to describe what we're seeing, what we're feeling, and the relationships we understand. We see them, our brain contemplates it, it recognizes something, it says, there's a relationship, there's a connection. Let's map how the world works. So that's probably a good word, map. Because, you can map regions, you can map a lot of things. Well, you can also map reality, you can map psychology, you can, draw a diagram, show proportional representations, get the distance and the relationships between different kinds of things. But some of it gets really hard. Some of it's in a foggy place, like what's the value of I don't know, the sight of your first grandchild versus 2 weeks laid up with a bad back. What's, how do we blend these different life experiences together and come up with an answer? And can we do that on any kind of subjective level or intuitive level? Because isn't our intuition, isn't our emotional self completely driven by desire, a mechanism of addiction? I think I got to push a bush for free. That was not good. Right in the guts. Anyway.